Good morning everybody and welcome back to another Simply Made Saturday with me, Helen Armstrong from Pandrapops Crafting Joyful Moments. Today we are going to be using 5 inks in total, but you realistically for this one you only need 1 ink, but I'm just doing it in different colours. So I've got a black, I've got a Coastal Cabana, Old Olive, Highland Heather and Flirty Flamingo. And the stamp sets we're using today are Lily of the Valley and Garden Gatherings. These are both currently out. They're part of the May to August 2026 annual catalogue from Stamping Up. So I thought I would use these. We're going to be blending some ink and stamping some ink, predominantly in the same colour. That's the plan. That's why it's Simply Made Saturday. It's quite easy to do. So yeah, I hope you'll join me and I hope you'll continue watching. So let's get started. I've already pre-scored my cards. My card sizes, because we're here in the United Kingdom, are 21 centimetres by 14.9, scored at 10.5 on the long edge. So I'm just going to quickly grab one of my card blanks. First thing we're going to do is we are going to layer a card. We're just going to hold it in place. So this is measured, measured at 9.5 by 13.9. This piece we are going to do a little bit of blending around. So I'm going to just grab a blending brush, which is in pink, to match. So I'm going to start with my Flirty Flamingo. First thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to take it off at this side. I've just got a little bit of card, so I don't want it too dark, and I'm going to sort of blend from the about an inch from the edge, and I'm just going to go slightly on the edge, past the edge of this card. You'll see what I mean when I finish, when I lift the card up. It's just to give a little bit of colour on the edge. Okay, I hope you can see that. My hand's not in the way. Just going to lift that up slightly. I'm going to just put a little bit extra in this corner, just to make that a little bit darker. And maybe down this corner as well. Sorry, I know my hand will be in the way. So all I'm doing is just holding this card in place, just so we get a bit of a frame round it. Okay, yes, I'm happy with that. That's great. I just wanted that little bit of a frame. The next thing I'm going to do is I have cut my card already, and I've cut sort of like an L shape, and I'm going to layer this on my card. Now it's up to you where you layer it, how far across you go, but again what we're going to try and do is we're going to be darker at this side and then come lighter sort of diagonally across is the plan. So I'll just grab some ink. So again, I'm just coming off initially, then getting lighter as I go across, darker. So I'm adding a little bit more force on my brush as I'm doing this first bit. I still want this quite dark in the corner and heading up here, so adding more ink. Okay, and then I'm just going to blend up, tapping off and then just blending up. A little bit softer. I'm not pressing as hard with my brush as I go up. Okay, that's exactly what I wanted. Okay, next thing we're going to do, we're going to take one of our stamps, and I'm actually going to use this one from the Lily of the Valley. What I'm going to try and do is, because this is quite a large stamp, I don't want all of this, or can I? Let's have a look. Let's see if I put this down. I could have it going slightly coming down, but I don't think I want all of this stem. So I'm just going to make sure that it's seasoned, because I'm not sure whether I've actually used this one yet. So I'm just seasoning it, rubbing it on my hand just to get those oils off. Okay, so then I'm going to just tap, and maybe come down to about there with it. Tap, tap, tap. Okay, so I'm then going to just, for me, sorry, I'm left hand. What have I done? I've done my usual. Yeah, managed to get ink on my fingers. Let's hope we can cover those up with something. Okay, so I'm just going to press that down and then lift up. Okay, I could have done that better. And then the next thing we're doing, we're just going to put a sentiment on. That is all. And again, I think this is from actually the Garden Gatherings. And I'm just going to stamp that there. Okay, so I could put up some ribbon here just to cover that up. That is the premise of the card. Now with this one, because it's an open, I might grab my, let me just see, where's my Flirty Flamingo? I might grab my light Flirty Flamingo, and I might just come in and colour in these bits, picking up the same colour. You could also do this with a small brush and picking the ink from the ink pad. Or if you wanted to do a different colour, you could absolutely. Okay. That's it. What I think I might do next time though is make this edge quite a bit darker just to pull it all in. Right, next card. And let's see if Helen can get away with not putting her fingers in the ink. Okay, so we'll use that one. Let's go for, I want to go for a blue. Let's go for our Coastal Cabana. So I'm bringing in another card blank. What you could do is, obviously, if you had Coastal Cabana cardstock, you could do a layer if you wanted to beneath, which is just slightly showing. Let me grab a blue. Okay, so again, we're going to do the same thing. We are going to put our card down, but I think we are going to go, instead of tapping off, let's just go straight on. Let's just make sure I'm picking up. Okay, happy with that. Okay, so I'm just going to go straight over, and I'm going to go quite dark with this. So you can go as dark or as light as you want. I'm just decided I'm actually going to go really dark with this now to see what effect we get. I've not done this technique. I've not made a card like this before. I just thought, can we get something which looks, well, okay, quite nice with just ink and a stamp. The same colour ink. And one stamp. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm happier with that one. So again, I'm going to bring in my layer for, I think I'm just going to bring it ever so slightly further down. Just making sure I've got about the same either side, just here and here, maybe bringing across that a little bit more, and then see if I can match it with, okay, let's go with this one. Okay. Obviously it depends on how juicy your ink is. as to how much colour you decide you want to put on and blend away. I think I might go a little bit further over this time, just to give that a little bit more colour, and come in a lot darker over here. Okay, come a bit more dark in this corner here. Okay, right, so our next bit, what you could do is obviously extend this a lot further so it goes up the whole of the card. That would possibly be a better idea. Then you're not going to get this little bit of shading in the corner. Right, let's see if Helen can do this without getting ink everywhere. So I've got a stamp from the Garden Gatherings, and I'm just going to make sure and wipe this edge off because we don't want, and I've just realised I've not seasoned it, so let's give it a good clean. Rub it on my hand. I always find the back of my hands good, but when you do it for a lot, it can, you know, it can cause an issue with your hand. Okay, so I'm actually going to put that there, like that, and then I'm going to do another one just slightly to the right of it. Okay. Do we need a third, or do we need just to put a little one there overlapping? Oh, I don't know. Maybe we need to go up there. Again, you do what you feel is right. I'm just showing you a different technique with this on Simply Made Saturday. And obviously, yet again, as I always say, you will take your time a lot more than I will when you're doing these to make sure things are straight. Yeah, quite like that third one. Okay, in this one, we are going to do to one of the nicest people I know. Okay, and I'm going to put that just up here. Again, I didn't season it, but yeah, I should have seasoned it because we wouldn't have then got that. But yeah, I'm happier with that. Okay, and I think I'm happier with where it's sitting as well compared to the first one. Okay, we're now going to do card number 3, which is I'm going to do a purple background. I've now decided we're just going to do 3 cards, and we're going to do the purple background, and we're going to try and see what it looks like with black ink on it, to see whether we like it and whether it's worth doing. I do have a little bit of a frog in my throat this morning because I think fighting off a little bit of a cold, unfortunately. Yeah, one of those summer colds. We've just now got the sun. It's very nice outside. It's a bit overcast, but it's supposed to get lovely later on. So I'm looking forward to spending some time in the garden. Yeah, so I didn't tell you the date today, did I? So today is Saturday, the 23rd of May, 2026. As I said, the products I'm using are in the May to essentially September. The new catalogue comes out in September, September catalogue. Yeah. So if you're watching this within 6 months, a year later or so, those products will not be available probably. These products, or they might be in last chance if it's within 6 months. But if it's beyond a year, they will have been retired. But there will be something, or you will have already something in your stash that you can use to make this kind of card. So the aim of Simply Made Saturday is to try and do things where if you haven't got a lot of kit, you haven't got a lot of craft kit, you know, you don't maybe have a die machine. It's just really to show kind of different techniques to make cards with if you don't have a lot either craft experience or as I said, you don't have a lot of kit yet. Unfortunately, when you do become a card maker or a crafter, you do tend to then collect lots of kit. I think I might go a little bit darker on this edge. Okay. I like that. I like the purple. Purple's looking really nice. Okay, let's bring our edge card in again. And let's try and sight it so where we think is probably centered, or you know, where we've got the same on each side and top and bottom. Okay. If there is anything you'd like me to show in Simply Made Saturday, please let me know in the comments. I'll be very grateful if there's things that you want me to show you, share with you. I'm yeah, very happy to do that. Next week we'll be doing a similar technique but using stencils. I know this is a type of stencil, but we'll actually be using circles and hearts, that sort of thing. I just realised I've moved my mask. Okay. I want to go a little bit darker just at this edge here and into this bottom corner, because we are going to be using black for our stamping this time. I think I might need to re-ink my stamp pad because it's not as juicy as it once was. But it'll be the first time I will have re-inked it in 2 and a bit years, so that's quite good. Okay, so we are going to bring in our black, and I think we will do our Lily of the Valley. So I'm just tapping, making sure we get good coverage. I have to say this ink pad is quite an old one as well. It's not as juicy as it once was. So let's just turn it over and tap, tap, tap. Edge. Just going to tap at the top. Might not have got as much coverage as I want there. Okay. So I'm just turning it to make it easier. Let's put it down. Press, because this is versifying clay, you do need to give it a little bit of time to go into the paper. And again, once you've stamped it, you also need to give it a little bit of time to dry. Oh, yeah, happy with that. Okay, and I don't actually think it needs colouring in. No, I think it's very well. I'm happy with that. Okay, so we will again bring in our The Best Is Yet to Come. Okay. I'm hoping we've got enough ink on there. Okay, and we're going to just put it down here. Trying not to move it once I've stamped it. Okay, happy with that one. So I just again wanted to show you a quick video this morning on making cards with just ink and a stamp. Okay, so do we prefer, we're not going to look at my mistake. Yeah, that's a bit of a mistake. So we're not going to look at that one. But which one do you prefer? Do you prefer one with black ink, which stands out a little bit more, or are we happy with the colour? Just doing the colour? I think I like the colour, but if you were going to step this up, what I would maybe think what would be a good idea would be to imagine having this as the coastal cabana, and then you could put another white piece on the top, so you've got your coastal cabana card just peeking through the edge instead of having such a harder edge on this side. But I do like them. I do like how they've turned out. So excuse me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I hope the week ahead is great and lovely for you. And I hope to see you next week back here for another Simply Made Saturday. All right, thank you very much for joining me. And as always, craft your joy.